Our next show is Fibber, McGee, and Molly, and this was first went on the air on April 16th, 1935. For a time, it was broadcast on Monday nights in direct competition with Lux Radio Theater, which was, pretty strong competition. But by 1939, Fibber had settled into its permanent slot on Tuesday nights at 9:30 Eastern Time. Fibber, McGee, and Molly was dropped as a weekly half-hour feature after the show of June 30th of 1953, which was a pretty long run right there. Then it returned in October as a 5-a-week, 15-minute show, which lasted till 1957. The show could still be heard in the late 50s as a 5-minute sketch on NBC's Monitor, which I was really surprised when I learned that fact, because I do not recall just a 5-minute sketch of Fibber, McGee, and Molly then. At its peak in April 1941, it topped Jack Benny and Bob Hope to lead all of the shows in the ratings. One little note here. Throughout the years, whenever Fibber put in a call on the phone, he said, "Oh, hi, Mert," to the operator there, but we never heard the operator, and he never saw her. So he didn't really even know what she looked like. So with that in mind, that little fact in mind, let's go back to June 22nd, 1943 for Camping at Dugan's Lake with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. The Johnson's Wax Program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax, Johnson's Carnu, and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber, McGee, and Molly, written by Don Quinn with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. When you walk into a store to make a purchase, whether it's Johnson's Wax or soap or shoes, does it occur to you that your dealer renders you a valuable service? And never so valuable as now when wartime restrictions complicate his operations. He buys a little of this, a little more of that, things he believes you're going to need, and he puts them on his shelf until you come to buy them. He has to have a convenient location, people to wait on you, and maybe delivery service. Now, if that's all he did, you still couldn't get along without him. But he does more. He exercises buying judgment on your behalf, selects from among the goods offered those that he can recommend to you and stand back of. For your protection, Johnson's Wax, Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat, and Johnson's Carnu are sold only through recognized dealers, never by independent door-to-door canvassers. Remember this, if a house-to-house canvasser ever offers you such a product under a Johnson name.
What is so rare as this time of year, when city dwellers full of cheer start making for the lakes and woods with tons and tons of sporting goods, with suntan lotion, bathing suits, fly rods, rifles, wading boots, camp stoves, tents and hunting knives, dark glasses, beer, and weary wives. Full of fun and fancy follies and plans like Fibber, McGee, and Molly's.
Of course, what I'd really like to do is to go into the wildest part of the Rocky Mountains with nothing on me but a blanket and a hunting knife. That's really what I'd like to do. What's so funny?
You!
Huh?
I can picture you prowling around the mountains with a blanket and a knife.
What you mean?
Why, you can't even peel an apple without losing a few fingers.
Oh? And why? Because I'm soft. I've been living too easy. A couple of weeks in the woods and I'd harden up like a boarding house mattress.
Well, somehow a week or two of camping out doesn't have much appeal for me. Let's stay home, McGee, and play rummy and go to a few movies.
No, sir, nothing doing. Why, I want to get away from things.
What things?
Well, things. People. Telephones and mail and newspapers.
Well, where are we going? Have you decided?
Oh, I think so. Of course, we can't take the train anyplace, and we haven't got a car, so I had to pick a place nearby. Lake Dugan.
Lake Dugan?
Yep.
Why, that's right on the edge of town.
Well, sure. Take all our stuff out there right on the streetcar. Well, I can run in every morning and get the mail and the newspapers and see if there was any phone calls. Swell swimming there, too.
Yes, if you can find a place between the rowboats. That's a fine place to get away from people.
Huh?
Why, you can't roast a marshmallow out there without burning a hole in somebody's bathing trunks.
That reminds me, where's my Boy Scout hatchet?
Well, you threw it away.
I did?
Sure, because you cut your wrist when you tried to open a can of tomatoes with it.
Huh?
Remember? I washed your wrist off with boric acid and your mouth out with soap.
Where's my rifle?
Well, it's practically all rusted to pieces.
Rusted? How'd it get rusted?
Well, you said it was almost impossible to get cartridges for it now, so I had to have something to stir the wash with.
Oh my gosh, all my equipment is shot. Why, come in.
How do you do, Mr. McGee? Hello, Mrs. McGee.
Hi, sis, hi.
Well, how do you do, I'm sure?
I just stopped in to tell you I'm going on my vacation for the next 2 weeks and to wish you a very pleasant summer.
Well, gee, sis, thanks. Thanks very much. Same to you.
Yeah, we hope you have a nice time too, dearie.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
It'll be nice to hear your voice again in the fall. Well, good day.
Good day.
Good day.
Who's that?
I don't know. I thought you knew.
I never saw her before in my life. I was going to ask you.
Why, this is terrible. I'm going to ask her.
Yeah, you better find out.
Yoo-hoo! Wait a minute, dearie. What's your name?
Mert.
Oh, thank you. Mert.
Yeah, my gosh, I knew I'd heard that voice someplace. Who now?
Abigail Uppington. And be nice, McGee. We won't be seeing her all summer.
I wish somebody'd write music to that. Those are the prettiest lyrics I've ever heard.
Now, McGee, you're not being fair. She doesn't mean to be so uptown. She's just got an inferiority complex.
Inferiority complex, my clavicle. That's the excuse everybody gives for somebody being bad-mannered, high-hat, and generally disagreeable. Why, that old whippet never
Hush, hush. She'll hear you. Come in. For goodness sakes, if it isn't Abigail Uppington.
Oh, how do you do, my dear? And Mr. McGee?
Oh, hi, uppity. Fling the frame on a chair and I'll tell you how we celebrated Father's Day in,
Oh, and how did we, Mr. McGee?
Oh, it was pop, pop, pop all day long.
Oh,
You get it, girls? Father, pop? Well, it's kind of a subtle play on words.
Tain't funny, McGee.
Oh, personally, I thought it rather provocative of mirth. Well, Uppy, what are your plans for the summer, just to start the conversation, because I really don't give a hoot.
McGee, mind your manners.
oh, not at all, Mrs. McGee, please. After all, one expects a certain natural rudeness in this virile, masculine, rough diamond outdoor type of man.
Well, gee, thanks, Uppy. You don't just say that to...
Although, in the anemic, undersized pool room type like you, Mr. McGee, it's just merely irritating.
Oh, yeah? Why, you triple-chinned, non-flying fortress.
McGee!
If you don't stop coming over...
McGee, stop it this minute. My goodness, you ought to be ashamed. Now apologize to Abigail.
Okay, I apologize, Uppy. It's my inferiority complex. Makes me nasty.
Oh, outbursts don't upset me in the least, Mr. McGee. I merely say to myself, Abigail, Abigail, I say, why should you be annoyed because some inflated little gutter snipe goes away and leaves his voice
But Abigail,
running?
listen.
Oh, no. These little arguments do not affect my social equilibrium in the slightest degree. That is due to my theatrical training. Oh, yes. In the theater, one is trained not to be overwhelmed by the stress of emotional scenes, and in spite of them, to make a graceful exit.
Uh-huh.
Good day.
Wait, Abigail, don't.
Hey, Uppy, that's the door to the...
Oh, wrong exit. Good day.
Now, do you know what you need for this camping trip, McGee?
Well, sure I know what I need for a camping trip. I've been camping out ever since I was a kid. Nothing healthier, too, either.
Yes, I guess so.
I used to sleep like a log. Matter of fact, up in the Canadian Rockies once, I slept so much like a log, they rolled me into the river, and I was halfway down to the sawmill before I woke up. Well, it was only because of my...
Well, hello there, kids. Where you going?
Hello, Mr. Oldtimer.
Going down to the Wistful Vista Sports Shop, old-timer. Starting out vacation tomorrow and need some camping equipment.
Ah, that's great stuff, kid. Great stuff. Used to be quite an outdoor man myself. Used to own a ranch in Wyoming.
Well, that's what you says last week. Well, what was your brand?
2 guitars, a fiddle, a banjo, and a jug. One of the fellers used to...
No.
Huh?
Not band, brand.
Yeah, didn't you brand your cattle?
Nope. I started to once, but I accidentally sat down on a hot branding iron.
I see.
What happened to me shouldn't occur to a cow.
Well, if you spend so much time on a ranch, Mr. Oldtimer, how come you're not bow-legged?
I used to be awful bow-legged, daughter.
Oh.
I was so bow-legged, I had a terrible time in church for a while. Took me 3 pews to kneel down.
Well, how'd you ever get your gams ironed out?
I took a trip to New York. Got caught in a subway rush. Come out knock-kneed.
Well, I always knew you were a Westerner, Mr. Oldtimer. You know, you've got that squinty look around the eyes that comes from gazing across the sunlit desert, or trying to find the pork in a can of pork and beans.
That's a pretty good one, daughter. But ain't the way I heard it. The way I heard it, one feller said to... Oh, wait a minute. I gotta get going. Have a nice summer, kids. See you in the fall.
Hey, what's the rush?
Oh, I gotta deal with my gal, Johnny. Librarian at the library.
Oh.
She's reads to me every afternoon. We're on Black Beauty right now, and I'm pretty worried about how it comes out.
Oh.
Yeah, things the way they are now, I'm scared that Black Beauty's gonna wind up on a blue plate. Have fun, kids.
You know, I hope you'll be as young as he is when you're as old as he is, McGee.
I hope I never look that old. His face looks like it had wore out 3 bodies. Oh, here's the sports shop, Molly. Come on.
Good day, sir. What can I do for you? We're having a special today on moose calls, genuine Brazilian birch bark. They come in three forms. plaintive, urgent, and imperative.
No thanks, ma'am. I don't want one.
But sir, why, in our last order, we asked for 6 gross. And do you know how many we got? Half a dozen, of which this is the last one.
Oh?
There won't be any more, you know, for the duration.
Oh, how terrible.
Well, gee, maybe I better take one while I got this.
No, we don't want it, McGee. We need a moose call like you need a hole in the head.
In his case, that might be exactly what.
Madam, if my wife says I don't need a moose call, by George, I don't need a moose call, see? I would like to try it once. I never blew a moose call.
Certainly, sir. Go right ahead.
Well, that didn't seem to arouse any particular... Oh, look, McGee, here comes Mr. Wilcox.
Why, this is a wonderful little gadget, Molly. One honk and in comes Wilcox.
Yes, but he's not a moose.
Well, he's an elk, ain't he? Well, it's awful close. Hi, Junior.
Hello, Fibber. Hello, Molly.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox. Say, you're an expert on better homes. Won't you help McGee pick out a pup tent?
Oh, sorry, I can't do it, Molly. I have to be at the war plant in 20 minutes.
Oh.
I just dropped on here to have my tennis racket restrung. Take care of it, will you, clerk?
Certainly, Mr. Wilcox. I'll have our racketeer go right to work on it.
What you all are gonna do at a war plant, Junior?
Well, I've got to give a short talk
On what? As if we could never guess.
on nutrition.
Well, that's a new way to approach the... On what?
Nutrition.
Oh, now, come, Mr. Wilcox. It's a fine product, we know, but even we who love it so dearly wouldn't eat it.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm going to give a talk on the importance of war workers, and other workers too, maintaining their health by eating the right kind of bodybuilding food, primarily butter and milk and cheese products. That's Group 4 of the government's nutrition program.
I see.
Yes, it seems the nutrition experts have divided all food into 7 groups, and to keep the fighting trim, we must have at least one food out of each group every day. Milk is one of the most necessary items in the whole list.
So what if I don't like milk? My gosh, if I get plenty of meat and potatoes, then
You see, the milk and cheese group of the nutrition plan contains some of the most vital elements to human health. Milk furnishes about 3/4 of the calcium we need every day to build our bone structure properly. Milk and cheese are full of vitamin A, and without vitamin A, our eyesight is impaired. All grocery stores have lists of the 7 basic food groups posted up, and it's easy to refer to them when you do your shopping. Well, I think I'll close my little talk by saying, vitamins for victory. There's a great day coming, so drink your great A today.
Oh.
Do you like that?
No, I don't.
You don't? Oh, then it must be good. I'll use it. See you later, folks.
Goodbye, Mr. Wilcox.
Hasta la vista, Junior.
Is there anything in particular I could show you now, sir?
Well, not right away, ma'am. I want to kind of look around first.
Yeah, we're mostly interested in camping equipment. He wants a pip tent.
Pup tent.
Well, they give me the pip. Every time. Oh, look. McGee, here comes Dr. Gamble. Hello, Doctor.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Hello, McGee.
Hi, Doc.
Buying something, or did you just get in out of the fresh air?
Well, starting my vacation tomorrow, Doc. Gonna go camping.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I can hardly wait to treat you for sunstroke, poison oak, chiggers, water in the ear, spider bites, and fish hooks in the gluteus maximus.
You know, I'm going to make him be more careful this year, Doctor.
Oh, it's no use, my dear. He's the kind who needs a lifeguard when he washes his hair. I think there ought to be a law against vacations. Here we build a man up and keep him in shape to do his daily work for 50 weeks out of the year, and what happens? He takes a vacation.
Well?
He sleeps outdoors on a damp cot exercises like a commando when his greatest effort for the past year has been tearing the band off a cigar, swallows gallons of muddied lake water.
Oh, tush, 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 tush. You're just an old sourpuss, Doc. You think everybody ought to go through life chewing on a thermometer and walking on their hands so they won't get their feet wet.
Well, the doctor just doesn't like to see people make fools of themselves, dearie.
Well,
You're right, Mrs. McGee, but it's like trying to keep an apple seed from making an apple of itself. Well, I hope you folks enjoy yourselves this summer. Take a good rest, my boy.
thanks, Doc.
And, my boy, don't be like most men on a vacation.
Huh?
Remember the little woman in your life, your wife. She's not a red cap, a washing machine, or a nursemaid. Let her have some fun, too. And I'm glad you're getting out of town for a while, McGee.
You think it'll do him good, Doctor?
I doubt it, but it'll give me a new lease on life. Goodbye now.
Now, this is a very humane rabbit trap, Mr. McGee. Here's how it works. We put a piece of lettuce on the trigger here, cock the spring, then Mr. Rabbit comes along. See? He sniffs the lettuce, takes a bite, and that blank cartridge explodes. Ingenious, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but that would scare the rabbit away.
Of course. That's why this is the most humane trap made.
Well, I think that's ridiculous. And furthermore, I don't know anything about anybody.
Well,
but
hello there, McGee. Hello, Mrs. McGee.
why, Mr. Coast Guardsman Latrivia, how nice.
Hi, Latriv. You still on leave?
My leave is up tomorrow, McGee.
Oh, gonna stop coasting and start guarding again, huh?
Yes, yes. As I was saying to one of our petty officers last week,
Now, that isn't a very nice way to talk about your officers, Mr. Latrivia.
I said nothing derogatory, Mrs. McGee. In the Navy, an officer's rank.
If an officer's rank, you shouldn't keep quiet about it. Sure, nobody's perfect, Mr. Latrivia. Remember that.
Miss McGee, please. I merely made the statement that a superior officer.
You've got an inferiority complex, Latrivia. They just seem to be acting superior because you've got no gold braids, see?
I didn't say they acted superior. They're superior officers because the higher the rank.
They hire the rank what? Go on and say it, Latrivia, but remember, enemy ears are all about us. No disloyalty.
Don't accuse me of disloyalty, McGee. I was only trying to tell you that an ordinary seaman.
Don't you dare call our sailor boys ordinary seamen, Mr. Latrivia. Why, our sailors are the best seamen there are.
Yeah, just because you think your officers are petty and act superior, Latrivia, don't you?
I don't think anything. I mean, I didn't think what I was saying. You twisted everything. Everything I've said. Now, let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
I said that one of our petty officers.
Now, Latrivia, I warn you, if you persist in that attitude, I'll be forced to report you.
Yes, and you'll be thrown in the grog for 90 days. And how you like that?
It isn't a grog, it's a brig. Grog is an old Navy term meaning rum.
Yeah, well, what's so rum about a term in one of our grogs?
I tell you, it isn't a grig, a brog. A grig is a brig. No, that's how brog in a Navy brig, dog, brog.
Say, have you been drinking, Mr. Latrivia?
I don't drink, and you both know it. But before I go, I'd like to straighten you out.
Don't you threaten my wife, you big bully. You'll have to straighten me out before you lay a finger on her.
Yes, for shame. A man in the United States uniform threatening women with violence.
Tush, tush.
Mr. Latrivia, I was never so...
Please, please, please. Just listen to me for a moment.
Okay, Latrivia, but make it snappy before I call the FBI.
Now look, you've got me all wrong. I didn't mean to say... My observations were mere... My officers are the finest. Say, what is this?
Ah, dear.
Have you been pulling my leg?
Yeah, and I don't mind telling you, Latrivia, you've got the stretchingest leg we ever pulled.
Ah, don't be angry, Mr. Latrivia. But it was just like old times, and we just couldn't resist it.
Yeah.
Angry? Oh, I'm so relieved I could kiss you. I think I will.
Hey!
Oh, thank you.
Now, McGee.
Oh, no, you don't. You get away from me. I ain't gonna...
Oh, don't be silly. I just wanted to shake hands.
Oh, that.
That's it. Wish you a nice vacation, both of you.
Thanks.
Good luck. And I hope when we meet again, the box score will be no Hitlers, no ruins, no terrors.
Well, I hope so too, Latrivia. Happy landings, boy.
Goodbye now.
Ah, great little guy, Latrivia.
Little?
Yeah.
Did you see his chest? I was scared to death he'd take a deep breath and push us right through a showcase.
Oh, yeah, he's a pretty husky little... Ah, you got that sleeping bag I asked for, ma'am?
Yes, sir. A genuine snug bug sleeping bag.
Uh-huh.
We have 2 of those, though the other one is damaged, which makes this one the last one we have in stock.
For the duration.
Yes.
Say, that's pretty good. A sleeping bag. Just crawl in and zip it up, ma'am?
That's all. Waterproof, sun-fast, and guaranteed as long as it lasts.
Now listen, McGee. I don't think you want to... Oh, hello there, Mr. Wimple.
Hello there, Mrs. McGee. Hello, Mr. McGee.
Hi, Wimp, old man. You like this sleeping bag? I'm thinking about buying it for a little camping trip Molly and me are going on.
Oh, I don't care much for them, Mr. McGee. Let sleeping bags lie is my motto.
Mr. Wimple, were you buying some vacation things?
No, Mr. McGee. Sweetie Face sent me down here to pick up a couple of dumbbells.
Oh.
My goodness, I never expected to find you here.
Is that a crack?
Of course not, Mr. McGee. I never make cracks.
Oh.
I learned my lesson last week when I flew off the handle with Sweetie Face.
Oh.
You did what, Mr. Wimple?
I flew off the handle.
You finally did it.
Yes, I was out in the kitchen frying some eggs and Sweetie Face came in.
Yeah?
She grabbed the frying pan, but I hung on to it.
Uh-huh.
So she started whirling me around her head.
Oh.
I finally flew off the handle and crashed into the china cabinet.
Well, I bet she was sorry she did that.
No, that made her more angry than ever. She said, "Aha! In your cups again," and slugged me with the bread box.
Very violent woman, I'd say.
Yeah. You gonna buy the sleeping bag, Mr. McGee?
Well, I don't know, Wimp. Mind if I try this on for size, ma'am?
Very happy to have you, Mr. McGee. We don't close till 5:30 if you'd care to take a little nap in it.
Oh, no, McGee, you don't take
I ain't sleepy anyway, Molly. Here, hold the top open while I wiggle into it. That's it, a little wider. That's it.
Fits nicely around the hips, doesn't it?
My goodness, he looks like a little caboose in there, doesn't he, Mrs. McGee?
You mean papoose, Mr. Wimple. A caboose is the rear end of a freight train.
Yes, I know.
Okay, zip it up, ma'am. Hey, this is wonderful. I'll wait, ma'am. You better let me out now. It's too hot in here.
Oh, dear me.
What's the matter?
The little piece that unzipped, it had broken off. Oh, so careless of me.
Well, get a knife. Cut me out of here. I'm smothering.
Sure.
Good heavens, man. This is a $32 sleeping bag.
Well, he's worth more than that to me alive. Rip it open.
Yeah, hurry up, man. Hurry up. What? Over here.
Just be patient, sir. I have no authority to injure the property of the store.
Well, all the dead, dreaded, dirty lot. Why did everything have to happen to me?
What do you find so amusing, Mr. Wimple?
It just struck me as funny, Mrs. McGee, to have you at the end of the season on this note.
On what note, Mr. Wimple?
Well, for once the bag is holding McGee.
Oh dear.
Johnson's Carnu, the easy-to-use polish that both cleans and polishes your car with one application, 2 jobs at once. Carnu is a liquid. It dries to a powder which is easily wiped off. You gladly do a Carnu job yourself, and you'll be surprised what it will do for your self-respect and for your driving pleasure. Remember the name, Johnson's Carnu, spelled C-A-R-N-U.
Good night.
Good night, all.
In tonight's cast, Fibber McGee was played by Jay Summerfield. Molly was Sue Gajinski. Mert was Kathy Juarez. Mrs. Uppington was played by Ellie Babka. Doc Gamble was Herb Thompson. The clerk at the sports shop was played by Nell Brennan. Mayor Latrivia was Andre Dixon. Appearing as Wallace Wimple and providing sound effects, who else? Marty McNulty. And starting us off with a rhyming introduction, Donna Amesmeyer. The old-timer was played by Tom Dugan. Harlow Wilcox was yours truly, Dave Sanchi. Our technical crew was John Gelsomino and Lorenzo Cardova. We'd like to thank the Riverside Township Board for their support. And now, here's our director for next month's show, Herb Thompson.
Thank you, Director Dave. Next month, we might have winter, but no one knows. We haven't really had it yet. We've been very fortunate if you don't like severe weather. However, we're due for some. But next month, February 26th, the 4th Friday of the month, we're back on the 4th Friday schedule. 4th Friday of the month, February 26th, in this very room. Same time, same station. 2 shows. One from the series Mr. President. Now, I'm not familiar with that one. I'll touch back in a minute. And the other show, a Baby Snooks show, which should be fun for all of us, I would hope. We all remember that one, I think. The Baby Snooks show titled Report Card Blues. Now, I don't know if any of you ever had report card blues, but I think I might have had a few. and my children might have had a few. The first show, Mr. President, the first show on the list, maybe you have this list, I don't know. The first show, Mr. President, is titled The Cabinet Ladies. Now, I'm going to ask a question, and if anyone can answer this correctly, there's a prize involved for next time, next month. Now, who was the show title is The Cabinet Ladies. Now, who was the first female member of the United States government cabinet? No, okay. Absolutely, absolutely. Frances Perkins, the first woman secretary, the first woman member of the President's cabinet, appointed by FDR, January 33. We were all there. No, we weren't all there. But this book, just, what is serendipity? I don't know. But the weird thing about it is, when I saw this schedule and I realized the book club I'm in is currently reading this book, I thought, wow, how can that be? But it is. And so it'll be a show on ladies in the cabinet, and you have an honored seat in the first row, which you already have. So thank you, and we'll see you next month.